and cross-watchers, welcome to your timeless romantic soulmate contract read. I am your reader, fellow Earth sign Virgo that I am, Mark Angelo Lyons. Mal, for short, they're my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Darling This Circle Productions since 1998, 24 year and almost and a half years of service. At the time of this timeless recording, I am the author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle. There's a link in the description box. Click it and preview it for free. It really is all that at the time of writing that book really saved my life from a very, very long career in magic, miracles, and mysticism, and I know Capricorns can appreciate a long-term career in just about anything. So go check it out. I am also a creator on Patreon. Why? Because I'm a very busy Virgo Earth sign witch, streaming there every morning with a cup of coffee, wearing my bathrobe, sitting on the couch, doing it from the laptop, talking about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications of said weather, the spiritual implications, always ending with a little prayer, a little blessing, a little something to send us on our way. All of my subscribers get that on Patreon, regardless of their level of subscription. They also get all the extended readings, the part 2s to the part 1, for example, of this Romantic Soulmate contract read, past, present, and future. They have access to all of them. And it's also on Vimeo, vimeo.com, link in the description box if you want a Vimeo on demand. But there's a lot going on over on Patreon that I absolutely love and adore. So if you want a deeper experience, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, we're doing recorded Zoom workshops there, exclusive content just for them. It's really cool. Then come Patreon on Patreon, because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal. Shall we? Let's talk contracts. I was raised by a lawyer. Essentially, my mother divorced my father, married her divorce lawyer, and they're still married. That happened when I was 4. I think it was the right move, right? Zeus and Hera, as I like to call them. So I love looking at particularly soul contracts. There are links in the description box talking about soul contracts in general, but the one I recommend, because there's a lot of them down there, is one by Matt Kahn, Hay House author, the spiritual teacher. He's amazing. His Matt Kahn Healing Mantra Deck card. There'll be one of those at the end of this part 1 of this contract read, but the video you want to watch, if you really want it, if you feel so called, soul contracts, twin flames and soulmates redefined, and it's in there, and that's the definition I'm working with, as well as I recorded my own videos on the subject, certainly, but a preface to the soul contracts read. I think I did it a year or 2 ago, so you can check it out. Talks about it a bit to clarify, because we are going to be looking at it like a contract. Party number 1, party number 2, and the state of the contract. First 3 cards down, we're going to look at the archetypes of that Caroline Myss archetype deck. Then we got tarot, and we've got oracles galore. There's a lot, and the extended readings are averaging at about an hour each. So yeah, no, I'm digging it. I love doing these. And here's the thing. Cross-watchers, whoever is watching this, just apply it, because you might find you might have a little difficulty feeling out whether you're party number 1 or party number 2, because the bottom line of soulmate contracts is it is sympathetic, it is soothing, it is symbiotic, it is supportive. You help each other heal through a quantum entanglement of a soulmate contract. So even if you haven't met yet, every time you heal, you're helping them heal, and vice versa. And, you know, we've never really been able to completely nail, I should say, anchor happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying, romantic soulmates. Those are the hardest. Family's hard to walk away from. Lovers, you have a choice, right? Hopefully, right? Depending on your situation. So in terms of soul contracts, to anchor that energy on the planet, think about that. Making love instead of war. Let's do it. I love Capricorns. So I'm into it. It is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs. Standard YouTube reading rules apply, right? To get more information, different archetypes in play, different elements in play for the same contract, or maybe you got more than one iron in the fire, as the kids like to say. They don't say that, do they? No, they don't. We did, though. Got some irons in the fire. So both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath, if you will, as we go. And I will do my best to read this contract for you so that you get a little leverage, you get a little understanding, and know that whatever you got to heal in this, you're not just helping yourself heal and them heal. You're helping the entire collective heal, even if you're cross-watching. That's enough explanation. Let's do some divination. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. And here we go. Like I said, using the Caroline Mace archetype deck, I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video, receiving this reading. I need the 3 dominant 8th chakra archetypes hovering over the head of party number 1, party number 2, and showing us the state of the contract, the chapter of the story, the clause in the contract, right? The scene in the movie, the track on the album, where they are in this timeless Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, Romantic Soulmate contract read. By the way, I do have river sounds playing in the background. There's a lot going on in the neighborhood today, so if it sounds like it's static, it's not. It's the river sounds. So please keep us on track here. Show us dominant archetype, 8th chakra for party number 1. Bam. For party number 2, poke me right in the hand. And for state of the contract, which we will not turn over in part 1, but it will be the first card we turn over in the extended, and I promise not to peek in this Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, interesting, sexual, satisfying, soulmate contract monsters. Just so interesting. Shall we? These are in the title. Let's see how brave you are. Are you kidding me? The king and the Midas miser? Midas was a king. Now, different families of archetypes here. We've got the masculine family archetype and the creative family archetype. Oh dear. By the way, in Tarot, Capricorn is the King of Pentacles, Cardinal Earth. I'm into this already. Let's see. Every archetype is neutral, right? So whichever side you are working here that you identify with, again, there might be some mirroring going on as well. The quantum does that. You're more alike than not, but not in that torturous twin flame kind of way. So the shadow is what you are healing, not just in yourself, but in the collective and in humanity, blah, blah, blah. For a reason, a season, or a lifetime. It's not who you are. It's the pattern that the 8th chakra is sending down through the rest of the chakras, affecting what you attract and repel, so that you do what you got to do to fulfill your soul contracts here. The light is what you're shooting for, the lead to gold, the toxic to healthy, the pain to peace, the illusion to truth. And that's what it means to anchor those sort of relationships, that energy into the Earth's electromagnetic field, particularly Earth signs. So let's talk about them. The king archetype. Now, I will say off the top of my head, it is archetypal, it is symbolic, right? So it's not about bodily gender just because it is a masculine family archetype. Think yang instead of yin, right? That sort of deal. So, I mean, I think we know the shadow side of the king, which is why I'm in the United States. We don't do kings too well. Well, we haven't. Excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. Oh no, on planet Earth hardly. No, ever. Yeah, like always. How about the light attribute, enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge, right? It's tribal. It's definitely leading by example, but enlightened, benevolent leadership. But you gotta lead by example. Oh, there's just too much packed into that right now. Talk about the masculine energy and its shadow and its light. So let's talk about the Midas miser. Now, the Midas touch, Greek myth, Dionysus was the cause of that one, right? Anything King Midas touched turned to gold, which just should have made daily ablutions practically impossible. But the shadow side of that, hoarding money and emotions Capricorns, I've dated a bunch of you. Obsessive fear of losing your wealth. Sorry, it's really light green type on a beige background. I do my best. So, you know, it is that hoarder, right? The miser. Sadder but wiser. Budweiser. The king of beers, there, it's a triplet. Sometimes it's the comedy rule of three, sometimes it's not. The light attribute, entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold, symbolically speaking. Obviously, really, it's going to make eating very hard. Delight in sharing life's riches. That's what I want in a partner, I'll tell you that. You know, that generosity of spirit, it's not just so much about, you know, nothing going on but the rent. I mean, that's obviously a part of survival. But this is creative and masculine. These two could do a lot together. Careful, honey. I just had that gold plated. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take 5 Daughters of the Moon Tarot to do the next 4 chakras down. The internal stuff, the feminine energy, the yin, Daughters of the Moon Tarot. And then we're going to take 5 of the Mythic Tarot and do the lower 3 chakras, relationships in the world, the masculine energy, the yang, in the extended reading. Once we flip that center card over, I will be flipping the deck so that we'll get the full chakric, energetic, fire, earth, air, water, spirit kind of info there for both of them. So I'm going to get all 10 of these on the table, and then we're going to flip them over. Fire, earth, air, water, spirit. Cool. It's fun. Please take a nice deep breath. I like this a lot. Still point. Please let me remember who I'm asking. As I call upon my goddesses of earth, the sign of Capricorn, powers of the north, please, beloved ones of the 10th house, highest potential, ruled by Saturn, right? Boundaries, but also that King of Pentacles vibe, that cardinal earth, build something sturdy and strong. Slow and steady wins the race, but solidly built. Please, 5 cards in clarity, element spread. For party number 1, who's dealing with the king archetype in their energy field, reason, season, or lifetime, their element of fire. What do they yearn for? Slow it down, slow it down. What do they yearn for? What do they burn for? What do their hearts desire in this soulmate contract with the Midas? Aww. What is their element of earth, the fuel to feed the fire? What they have to ground and manifest their heart's desire, heart, their third eye crown. What is their element of air, what they predominantly think about this romantic soulmate contract with this miser, predominantly, right? Not every single thought, predominantly. Element of water. What are they feeling about this heart, throat, third eye crown? One would think heart, but you know, it's an internal process. Those 4 work together, and there we go. And the card of spirit, the point of view or the voice of the soul, who was chosen, cast, and incarnated to play the role of party number 1 with the king archetype in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract with the Midas miser. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. 0 limits. As I call upon my gods of earth, the sign of Capricorn, powers of the north. Same thing. 5 cards, please. For party number 2, who's dealing with the Midas miser archetype, reason, season, or a lifetime, in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract. Party number 1, who's got the king going on. Please, what's their element of fire, what they yearn for, what they burn for, what their heart's desire, their element of earth, the fuel that feeds the fire, what they have to ground and manifest their heart's desire, their element of air, what they're predominantly thinking about all of this, their element of water, what they're predominantly feeling. No. Yeah, I get that. It's like, they might be feeling 2 ways about it. So yeah, what's going on there? Lower 3 chakras, their element of water. how they're feeling about it. And again, the card of spirit, the point of view of the soul, who was chosen, cast, and incarnated to play the role of party number 2, dealing with the Midas miser archetype in this happy, healthy, wealthy, was intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract with this king. Party number 1 who has the king archetype, shall we? Yeah. Wow. Well, what they want is major arcana. So both of them got major arcana. So let's just say when it's a major arcana card, it's all of the chakras at once, right? Where cups on the inner, right on the side at this point, one would think would be heart chakra, fire, wands, whatever, throat chakra. We got the lovers and we got the star. Okay, so we're off to, let's start this thing with a bang, right? We'll see how it goes. But certainly on this side, they want to make the wisest, most loving, most empowered decision they can make. The alignment of all of those chakras to choose, you ready? Third and the wisest, the masculine energy, loving the feminine energy. The child has to choose empowered choices and decisions. And the star, this one wants the inspiration, the guidance, the alignment in the outside world, right? This could very much be they're wishing on a star. Could very well be that, because it is a card of inspiration. It is a highly spiritual card. So that ability to turn anything to gold, that generosity, right? That there's hope here. And hope is a tricky word nowadays, but hope is a grace that is bestowed by the divine. In my experience, it's in my book, Words of Grace, but it's also in a lot of Caroline Mace's work. We used her archetype cards here. MYSS, she's a PhD, trust me, read her work. So we're off to quite a start there with the major arcana. So this is also about a life-changing decision. The lover's card and just, oh, hi. No. It is like falling in love, like committing to that sort of thing, right? It is life-changing. It changes everything. It changes your biochemistry, right? What's going on in your cell tissue. Endorphins, I'm in it for the endorphins. Oh, God, Carrie Fisher, I love you. Well, the element of Earth is interesting because this one's got the Empress on the inner. Another major arcana card. Again, all 4 at once. The wife, the mother, Mawu, giving birth to a baby on the back of an elephant. Literally the divine feminine energy, all the queens. In the traditional tarot, it's a little bit different in Daughters of the Moon. All the there are no pages, which I love. Page cards you can just take out, but I use them anyway obviously. Over here. But this is definitely for a king archetype to have the divine feminine anchored that way. Great wisdom. The spirit queen, if you will, fire, earth, air, water, and spirit. They're ready for this. But then this is saying that whoever this is on this side really could be a boss, right? Really could be. I mean, the king archetype is masculine energy, obviously, but the Empress on the inner, I love this. Very creative. Very, very creative. And here we got the Six of Swords. I love that. This Midas miser is open to communication and taking the journey mentally to get from choppy water to smooth. It's communication, it's balancing, it's counseling, it's expressing yourself. It's sixes, harmonious air, a mental journey. It's not so much about getting on a boat, folks, just saying. But certainly there is forward motion here. So the ability to communicate here and do this in a happy, balanced way feels lovely. I love this read so far. Let's see. What are they thinking? What you thinking? Well, we've got 3 for 3. Major arcana on this side. You only got the witch, which is the magician in the traditional tarot. It is aligning the fire, the earth, the air, and the water, and tuning it to the spirit, bringing down the cone of power, the inspiration to anchor it into form, or at least initiating that, right? The spell itself. The intentional work. So, no, work. Work. This one's really got their, so far, their elements very, very lined up within their interior world. And on this side, I love this. The Midas miser's like, well, let me think about this. Let me 3 of Wands this for a little bit. Right? The solid foundation of fire. They know what they want. They've made the choice. And now they're in that place of sort of like waiting and watching and assessing. where their loyalties lie. How long are they willing to wait? What are they willing to stand for? Solar plexus. Definitely solar plexus. I mean, it's the third chakra, but also that sense of personally, you know, particularly maybe in terms of sharing their emotions. They're willing to talk about it. But let's see. Let's see the element of water. Oh, how the worm doth turn. Over here, we have got good old-fashioned Eight of Cups, withdrawal, not necessarily walking away from in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, which is why I love it so much, but walking deeper into. This woman got in a boat with a torch. How do you row and hold a torch? I hope she had a torchiere. Just saying. We'll talk about a water fire hazard, right? Paddling, rowing to this island, following a trail of cups, some upright, some spilled, to find what? The Nine of Cups. That ninth cup within. So, I had a feeling this was looking a bit much, but emotionally, there is a pulling back here, a withdrawal. But why? We do not know yet. Because here, what I love, the Three of Pentacles. This is stable. This is emotionally stable. This is the beginnings. And they got a 3 and a 3. So their air, their mind and their emotions, they're both in 3s. That's good. It is a nice stable foundation that things can be built upon. The essential choice has been made. But it does speak certainly, at least from the outside in looking at them, as someone who's like, yeah, no, this feels good. This feels good. But again, with that withdrawal there on the inner, we will see what's going on the outside there. And of course, we'll see what's backing that up as well. But let's look at the card of Spirit. Well, 4 out of 5 major arcana say... Oh my God, choosy mothers choose gifts. You've got the Sun. You've got the Sun. If this is you, you've got Amaterasu, Japanese goddess of the sun, a card of healing and happiness and wholeness and holiness if you want to go there, but put a W in front of it. It makes more sense, that word, right? At one with the whole. Oh boy, I mean... I could understand a king archetype pulling back emotionally from something, certainly, right? The masculine energy in general, no offense. But you know, it's more third eye. But it depends on the alchemy, obviously, of whoever this is, where they are in the percentage scale of shadow to light, lead to gold, with the king archetype. But the soul is saying, darling, this is healable. This is a happy thing. This is a good situation. But sometimes you really got to go into the heart and withdraw and pull back and do what need be done to make the most loving, wise, empowered decision. Because here, I love this. Soul is saying justice, darling. Athena. I don't know if she's one of mine or I'm one of theirs. Athena, the card of justice, about the balance. This is a past life thing. Most of them are. I mean, no, our first time ever, and we have a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual. Who gets that? I don't know. I'm not in charge of the Akashic Records. They just let me check the contracts. Just don't touch them. Just look, don't touch. They don't like it when you touch the books. So, you know, that clarity, that, yes, perhaps a bit head over heart, but wanting to be that still point of the scale of balance and really do this fairly. Lower 3 chakras, clearly defined boundaries. I like these two. And how much you want to bet that dealing with that king archetype, that whatever that 8 of Cups is, there are 2 things I'm getting on that. One is it's just emotional stuff that needs to be dealt with and healed from past relationships in general, romantic or otherwise. We all have that. Past life, schmass life, 1, 2, 3, whatever. The other is these 2 have danced before again, and hence the 3 of Wands is like, do I want to do this again, right? It's like, where am I in my priorities? But this one feels like the immense spiritual power just of 4 out of 5 major arcana cards suggest that this could be a very enlightened king archetype in this. Regardless of bodily gender, you do you. Well, So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take 2 Whispers of Love from the Whispers of Love Oracle. Angela Hartfield will be using her Whispers of Lord Ganesh in the part 2s and the extended. 1 each from their own higher self collected. I know we don't care about anybody else in their lives necessarily in commentary. This is just from soul to soul. The voices of the higher selves. Please take a nice deep breath. Which is often in whispers. Still point. Yeah, as I call upon the higher selves of the Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading in this King and Midas, Miser contract, please, 1 card each. What is the Whisper of Love? The piece of information, inspiration, insight needed to help them do what they need to do within themselves, to help each other heal and anchor this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract into Earth's electromagnetic field. It's the ABBA card, sort of. Take a chance on love, King. Take a chance on love. I hope I have that song stuck in my head all day. If you change your mind, they're the first in line, honey. If they're still free, take a chance on thee, your majesty. Over here, treasure your loved ones. It is important to love people deeply. Put that in a romantic context, darling. Yes, there's a risk. Of course there's a risk. Getting out of bed, there's a risk. Please, particularly with cats. Alright, you don't know what you're going to step into. Necessarily, figuratively as well as literally. Look, I really feel very good about this. I mean, I feel that pretty much in every reading except those shadow reads I do for the, the 8 card draws. Those are a bit intense. Let's look at global shadow work through zodiacal lenses. Great fun. It is. Which is necessary, right? The shadow work, the healing, you gotta heal it to feel it sometimes, almost always. So, but what I like here is the stability that's really on this side, right? We got 6s, we got 2 3s, we've got justice. I mean, this is a very balanced thing, and their desire is in that place of the highest good, whatever you want to call it, the following the inspiration. And I think their desire to treasure you is, if this is you, their ability to treasure party number 1 is building. And it's lovely. And they're considering it as they should, which is wise and fair and just. Boom. Last card down. As I said, come here. The Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck. Doesn't matter which one you are. You're getting one. And work it. Right? Mantras are helpful. Particularly sometimes this is the card that clicks it into place for someone very specific in a general read. Throat chakra choices. I know it might seem like I cough a lot, but I really don't. I really, really don't. It's just, there's something about this that the decisions and the choices that have to be made need to be chewed on for a little bit. And I think that's what that 8 of Cups might be on this side. And I just feel like they'll wait. They'll hang out, but they're going to do what they have to do justly. Please take a nice deep breath. If you're new, wait till you hear this prayer. Still point. As I call upon the Ascended Masters of Romantic Soulmate Contract Reads, please, my beloved ones, 1 card in clarity, last card down, make it clear, make it simple, but make it helpful for the Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying, in process soulmate contract read. This King and this Midas Miser. What's the mantra to help them do this while one is working on taking a chance on love and the other treasuring their loved one in this timeless romantic soulmate contract read. Demystifying the darkness. There's the shadow work card. Hey, look, here are my skills. I know what I'm talking about. The divine puts the right cards in my hand. They tell me when to stop shuffling. It's more kinesthetic, but whatever. I'm fun and I have cool hair. There. Demystifying the darkness. My shadow shows me where my love needs to be sent, and that's just sort of blasting out over here in terms of an internal thing. We don't know what this looks like on the outside because we're going to flip the decks in the extended. But my shadow shows me where my love needs to be sent. Demystifying the darkness, right? Because just the word mystic, mysticism, it implies mystery, which means of course we don't understand it. The divine knows we don't understand it, and that's why interaction with the divine, which is really what divination means, you get clues, tips, and hints, baby. Let's see what Mr. Khan has to say. God, my shadow shows me where my love needs to be sent. When darkness is demystified, the scariest feelings, thoughts, ideas, and beliefs are seen as cries for attention from your most hurt and broken parts. Gee, romantically, sexually, who would have thunk it? Once the darkness is illuminated, you are able to be the light that transforms the dark instead of hiding in the light to avoid moments of darkness, which is using spiritual principle and practice as a way of running away from it instead of actually facing it and healing it, because you gotta feel it. Sorry, I didn't write that rule. Just as the light can acknowledge how much pain lurks in the darkness, it is the power of your unconditional love that brings your shadow out of hiding. And that's exactly what the archetype cards are about. They're indicating the shadow to light ratio. And soulmates help each other heal that stuff, whether they're aware of it or not. This mantra is ideal for overcoming fear, dealing with night terrors, and transcending the perception of scarcity. Now, you don't know how that plays out in this general reading, but nonetheless, who doesn't have emotional baggings from baggings? Who doesn't have emotional baggage from relationships in general on planet Earth this lifetime, let alone, like, you know, the Waldian era, you know, we're at ancient Greece, you know, Mesopotamia. We made it Mesopotamia. I mean, Atlantis, Lemuria, right? Other planets starts as whatever, right? The soul takes that journey, and it's a soul contract. So, really understanding that, yeah, of course there's fear here, of course there's lead. I mean, otherwise there'd be no need for the reading, right? You just be 100% gold, 24/7, 365, I don't know, have a lot of followers on Instagram, I don't know what that entails, I'm not there yet. But a work in progress here, certainly, Capricorns. And that Midas Miser certainly speaks to me of Capricorn energy, but as does the King. So in terms of mirroring, right, in terms of shadow work and mirror work, there are links in the description box. The movie, it's sort of like it is a documentary called The Shadow Effect, featuring Debbie Ford, who unfortunately is no longer incarnate. But really good, like The Secret, but for shadow work. And don't believe me, just go, you find it on YouTube. There's a link there, unless it got taken down, someone else will put it back up. It's just very, very, very hopeful, The Shadow Effect. To explain that for people who kind of think shadow work is spooky, but that's the point. It's not. It's just a mystery. So here's what's going to happen. My favorite part. I'm going to do what's called a blessimation. It's a combination of a blessing and a summation because it's what I do. I'm wearing the jewelry for it, might as well. And then I'll release the collective with a little bit of goofy at the end if you want to stay for that. It's just fun. I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. I know I got bullet points I got to hit. But let's see what happens. And they're going to take a break. We're going to flip that card. Flip that card! Please take a nice deep breath. Trying to keep it fun, folks. You know, my Tigger archetype is very much inspired by Capricorn's Eeyore archetype, big time. Wonderful thing about Tiggers, still point. That came straight from my heart. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, may they be blessed with all that they need to manifest this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract in this lifetime. Whoever they are, give them what they need. That party number one can embrace their enlightened, benevolent leadership, which is inherent within them for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, benefiting those in their charms to make the most wise, most loving, most empowered decisions they can in this. Really feeling it, aligning on the inside. That feminine love energy, coursing through, the fertility, the abundance within, so goddess energy on the inner, and that they're thinking about it. They are bringing their mind into alignment with their desire, with their emotions, ready to take action in some way, shape, or form. Or they're just thinking about it, the manifestational process. Maybe they're casting, intending, vision boarding, whatever. But they have the tools that they need on the inside. But yet, there is a pulling back, and that is necessary. This is not a bad thing. It's a neutral thing. It depends, right? Shadow to light led to gold. But literally right next to the Demystifying Darkness card, I'm going to say that that might be what's going on there, and why not? Because the soul is saying this is all healable. This is all happyable. We can do this. There is healing. There is light. And of course, when the sun card appears in a tarot card spread, it lightens the effects of every other card in the spread, or at least those close to or adjacent. So that they could take a chance on love here, and take a chance on the love of the divine. Start there. Take a chance on their enlightenment, right? Their ability to lead by example, because when they start to love, their lives are changed forever, and that's true for all of us. And take a chance, shake the dice. Hopefully you'll steal the rice, and or otherwise. And so that this miser, party number 2 with the miser archetype, can embrace their entrepreneurial, I get this, or creative ability to turn anything into gold. They see the potential here. Absolutely, they see the potential here. And a delight in sharing life's riches. I get it, because they see the potential, they see the wish, they see their heart's desire, and they're inspired and being called for and hoping like crazy that it goes down. But they can take the journey. They can talk about this. They can Six of Blades this, Six of Swords this, take themselves from the stormy to the calm by communicating, expressing themselves most likely. And their solar plexus, man, they're coming from their solar plexus. What are my boundaries here? What am I willing to do? What am I not willing to do? As they wait for their ships to come in. There it is, right? Before embarking on the next leg of the journey. And emotionally, at least from the outside, this person's got a nice foundation in terms of their emotions, right? Like a tripod. Like they can balance this. It can be built upon. And are open to collaboration. Very first and second chakra going on there for sure, Z's. And of course, the point of view of their soul. Just do it justly, just be fair. Do the best that you can. Do the best that you can to be balanced, to be fair, to be honorable. To really solar plexus this, what is your honor code, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't. And treasure your loved ones, because it is important to love others deeply, as both of them demystify darkness in this clause, the state of the contract, because their shadow shows them where their love needs to be sent. And as one of that does that even a little bit, the other one heals a little bit and doesn't even know it. And then if the other one starts healing something consciously, deliberately, the other one starts healing something maybe different, adjacent, consciously or deliberately, alchemizing the shadow delight, the lead to gold, to pain, the peace. May they be blessed with all that they need and anchor this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying, talk about 10th house, highest potential, romantic soulmate contract into their lives, that they may be blessed, and so may the rest of us, for the well-being of all and with harm to none. As we will, it's so let it be done. So motivating. So it is. It was good. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. Wow. Ooh, yeah. I'm going to take a little break, have a sip of water, get this first video uploaded, do some breath work, and dive in for round 2. So if you liked it, like it, hit the thumbs up, and subscribe if you like, if you want it, because I'm not stopping, because I'm over on Patreon. It's amazing. I love it. It's so free. It's so creative. And yet one more year, I don't feel like I will have to create an OnlyFans account. No. And if you want to book me for a private reading, there is a link in the description box. Booking a reading with Mal, a YouTube video, explains everything you ever wanted to know about booking a reading with Mal, but were afraid to ask. I love you, Capricorns. I love you. I love you. I love you. I really, really know that if anybody could pull this off, Cardinal Earth, one step at a time, 10th housers can do it. Hang in there, comment if you wanna, and go check out the extended. Hell, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.